Hey everybody, final thoughts time for Dale of Merchants. And I gotta say right up front, this is a great game. Jen and I, we were surprised just how much we've been enjoying this ever since getting the prototype. And maybe that's not that surprising because we're predisposed to really enjoying deck builders anyway. We tend to really like them. It's a wonderful gameplay mechanism that works so well and is so satisfying. But this one feels very, very fresh and unique. I mean, there's a few things that are really kind of cool that it's got going on. One, I love the setup for this. You know, the game, I mean, for a deck builder, it's almost a micro deck builder because there aren't that many cards it comes with. I mean, this is a fraction of the amount of cards you get in, say, a Dominion starter box. I mean, it's basically just double this deck of cards. You've got your pandas, your chameleons, your ocelots, your macaws, your raccoons, and your squirrels. And every time you play, you get some subset of those and, mix them up together, and it creates a radically different feeling game. The one I just did with, a lot of control over our hand, plus some thievery, plus some, faster stack building would be a very different combination rather than the market control plus, say, the card duplication plus the attacky stuff. I mean, those are two very different feeling games. And so, what is that? I mean, in a two-player game, it's you have 6 times 5 times 4. That's what? That's 120 unique settings you can have in a two-player game. Now, of course, the more players you have, the fewer unique settings there are, but instead, the more variety you get in the market. The market just becomes that much more explosive with interesting combinational opportunities the more players you have. And I gotta say, actually, it's interesting. Normally, I'm really not that big a fan of the Ascension, the Ascension Style market approach where, instead of just having preset cards out that you can choose from to buy, like Dominion, where you build a strategy early in the game saying, well, you know what, that card will combo well with that and that, so that's how I'm going to evolve and build my deck over the course of this game. Ascension Style thing where, oh, well, you know what, maybe you've got enough cards this particular turn to buy something, but hey, bad luck for you. There's nothing in the market right now that's useful. Or the perfect thing is there, but now you can't afford it. I mean, to me, it's always felt a little bit too swingy, and I've never really appreciated it in Ascension or, there's a few other ones that do it. But here, in this game, I think it's actually fairly cool. It works well because, unlike most deck builders, you have so much control over your deck, over your hand specifically, because this is one of the few deck builders where you don't dump your entire hand at the end of every turn. You basically, through clever hand management, can hold on to cards. So if you see something you really want but you can't afford it, well, use this turn to basically jettison some cards, either by buying something that's cheaper or just passing so you can get rid of some cards so you can draw better cards so you can get it next turn. You just have so much more control over the ebb and flow of this game, and it's very, very satisfying that you always have a good option in every round. And that isn't always something you can say for a lot of deck builders, but in this game you always can be taking proactive steps. So that's really great. Plus the combinatorial effects of the different families that come into the game. That's really fantastic. I mean, and then I love how deep and rich this is, considering it's just so tiny. I mean, this game is just a deck of cards and then this one little special ocelot, if you do end up playing with the ocelots, who are just absolutely insane. I mean, they are literally chaos incarnate. I mean, you're playing a very, very different game when you bring those guys in, and players are having to guess, what do I have in my hand? And rolling dice to see how many cards they get to draw and all kinds of crazy stuff. So, the game loses some of its, structure, but it gives this crazy, fun, wacky factor to it as well. So, I mean, we played with them all, and Jen and I, we normally don't like a lot of attacky stuff, but even the raccoons aren't too terribly bad. For the, they're fairly minor. Plus, as often as not, you won't want to use the raccoon card for its special attack power because you'll want to use it to buy other stuff or to build your stalls. Oh, and that's the other thing I love about this too. This whole crux of this game is, instead of building a deck and then thinning it out to try and get to the best stuff so you run your deck, I mean, you are tearing your deck apart as fast as you're building it, because you have to build your deck up, but then you have to dismantle it to actually set up your stalls, because there's a race to be the first to set up your 8 stalls, and it gets more and more expensive as it goes. So, there's a lot of you can go. I mean, you saw it was a very close game. Jen started building early, and then whereas I ramped up early. I mean, it came down to one turn. It was so close. Just a stellar game. Absolutely phenomenal. Jen, I enjoy it a lot. The art, by the way, is lovely and sweet and charming and just delightful to look at as well. The creatures are adorable. They're a lot of fun to play. Just tons of replayability, tons of flavor and character, and tons of really interesting, smart moves you can make. And you can tailor the game too. Depending on which animals you bring into the game, you can make the game much more newbie-friendly or much more deep and intricate with lots more combo stuff as well, depending on how you build the deck. So that's great. It's a game that can grow with you as a player. I gotta say, the only thing I don't like about the game, and it's a minor complaint, it's weird. The game comes with a market board. You know, it's like a fold-out market board, and the only reason for that market board is so you can see +4, +3, +2, +1, and that's it. I don't know why they're doing that, because if the game just came with some cardboard chits of a +4, 3, 2, 1, and you just put them up here the same way I did with these dice, this would become such an uber portable game. A very tiny deck of cards, 4 cardboard chits, and a cube. Plus, I would think he'd give him more. I mean, I would love to see future expansions where a new class of animals could actually mess with these, so you could actually like play with the price of things. But by going with their board, not only does it raise the cost of the production of the game, which is too bad. I assume it'd be much cheaper to make just a deck of cards and a little punch board with some chits. So I don't really know quite why. I mean, I'm not going to complain. I've seen a picture of it. It's a very pretty board, the same kind of art, so it looks quite nice. But I got to say, I think for me and Jen, we'll probably never use it. We'll just use the cards, and we'll just make our own little chits to keep track of the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that's the extent of the complaining I can do about this game. I can't really critique it very much because it just works so well. The deck building and then the deck dismantling is very cool, very fresh. The setup is great. The amount of control you have. I mean, a lot of people don't like deck builders because they feel like they are too random. This game, you have a lot more control over what's happening round to round. And so this game is really firing on all cylinders. A lovely, lovely game is Dale of Merchants. Now, it's on Kickstarter right now. I mentioned it right up front. There's the eye up there if you want to hit it to go and learn more, see what options there are, see what the actual board looks like, etc., etc. But I think I'm going to stop it right there, and thanks everybody for watching. Hope you enjoyed this. Any questions, comments, concerns, as always, let me know. If you noticed any errors, by all means point them out, unless Paul's already caught them, in which case, don't bother the man. Don't tell him stuff he's already fixed. And that's it. Thanks for watching, everybody. Talk to you later. So long. Bye-bye.